Hello, everybody, and happy Father's Day!
We're here to talk about the greatest fathers in anime history because, where would the story be if these guys weren't terrible parents?
Yeah, so, in honor of Father's Day, we made a list of the most horrible fathers in anime.
Hey, you say they're horrible, I say they're amazing, because remember, these guys are the real reason we get these stories.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's start with Diavolo.
Alright, so please, give us a synopsis on who Diavolo is.
So, Diavolo, some of you know him as that watermelon stripper guy from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yes, he is a watermelon-looking stripper dude from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
As is everyone from JoJo's.
I mean, yeah, who is not a stripper from JoJo's, honestly? Alright, so Diavolo, why is this guy a horrible father? Well, he tried to kill his daughter for once, multiple times.
Listen, he was securing his empire. I'm here to defend all of these so-called terrible fathers. If he was not trying to kill his own kid, what would Giovanni Giorno's motivation be? I mean, let's be real here. What kind of father doesn't try to kill their own kid at one point? She didn't even know who the dad was.
Yeah, he wants to, keep his whole, past secure. He doesn't want anyone to know about his past. So he does this. He's like, you know what? I only have one part of my past that's left, which is my own living, breathing human organism that I made 20 years ago, Trish.
And I will say, honestly, more power to him on this, because why would you want your kid to live in such a cruel world like this? I mean, Giovanni Giorno's whole motivation, and Bucciarati especially, their motivation is to, take gangs and make them a force for good. Bucciarati just wanted to get drugs off the street. Giorno just wanted to make sure that, gangs could be used for good. And you got Diavolo, who sees this messed up world that, yes, he definitely had a hand in making. He just wants to keep his daughter safe from it by taking her out of it,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What?
If you haven't noticed, I'm here to defend all of these terrible fathers. Because there's gotta be some positivity in this video.
Yeah, sure.
If you haven't noticed, he's here to, tell you how terrible they all are. I'm here to just, play devil's advocate. I'm just here to
when
tell
Diavolo
you that...
is literally the devil.
Exactly.
Devil means, in Italian, is Diavolo,
And hasn't he suffered enough? He has to face every single death imaginable. Honestly, kind of overkill. He only killed everyone he ever killed. He only killed them once.
So basically, to run it down, Diavolo's a horrible dad because he's so paranoid that someone's gonna find out that he is also a watermelon stripper dude, that he would want to kill his own daughter.
Hey, we all have things in our past that we don't want getting out.
I don't know, I could sympathize with Diavolo. What if you have a past Reddit history? Of course you'd want to erase that past Reddit history.
I thought I was supposed to be defending these dads. What happened?
Okay, anyways.
Next father!
Going back to next father. Of course, when we talk about bad fathers, there's one person that always comes up. The GOAT of bad fathers, Gendo Ikari.
I'm gonna be real here. Not the biggest fan of his parenting style, but I will also say his son was kind of a bitch.
Yeah, his son was a bitch because of him, though.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, that is true. It's harder to defend this man.
It's hard to defend Gendo. I mean, okay, imagine this. You're Shinji, right? You're this 14-year-old who your father abandons you after your mother dies, and you're when you're 5 years old or so, right? He doesn't speak to you throughout the whole year for 10 plus years, probably 8 to 10 years. And you're always going from relative to relative, orphanage to orphanage. And then one day your dad calls you up and he's like, Shinji, I need you. Come in this robot.
Hey, dude, he was just trying to give him an opportunity to actually be useful. What else would he be doing? Just bouncing between orphanage to orphanage? He took him out of that life eventually.
It put him into a worse life.
I mean, hey, piloting a giant mech suit? Who wouldn't want that? Be real here, that sounds cool as hell. Yes, the mech suit can possibly take over your consciousness and kill you, but at the same time, also kind of a cool trade-off.
Also, this mech suit is literally his dead mother.
I mean, he's closer to his mom now, so there's that. So his dad gave him that opportunity.
Yay, it's a happy family reunion.
Exactly! See, I'm convinced he's supposed to be, tearing these fathers down. I'm convincing him to come to my side. So I'm great at this.
But I can see why Gendo actually... he's a fucking horrible person.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to
say, stop trying to defend these fathers.
But I know his whole motivation was to get his dead wife back, which is ironic,
Did
how
he
he
clone
wants
his wife into a 14-year-old
Yeah,
girl?
he tried to clone his wife, and then it was like in this whole like, I don't know. I'm not here to talk about the third impact. That's like a whole different video right there. But you know, he wanted his wife back, and in order to get his wife back, he manipulated his son to go into a giant robot, which is also like kind of a carcass of his dead wife.
But anyway, moving on. Next dad.
Next on the father's list is Toji Fushigoro, who is Megumi's dad from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, so I know what happens in JJK. I haven't seen season 2 though, so my knowledge on this will be limited. So I'm gonna let you take the floor with this one.
Alright, so first of all, I can forgive Toji because he's such a daddy motherfucker. Like, oh god, he's DILF material right there. How could I not forgive him? You know, moving on.
Doesn't he not know his own son's name? I feel like, okay, we're gonna switch here. He doesn't know his own son's name and he tried to sell him.
Well, he's still like fine as fuck though. So like,
I mean, okay, I feel like we switched positions on this guy.
So he's a horrible father because first of all, he forgot his son's name when someone asked about his son, and second of all, he literally wanted to sell his son to like his family. He fucking hated his family too. So like, how much of a deadbeat dad do you have to be? And then Gojo adopted Megumi after Gojo killed Toji.
Gojo is a questionable father figure, but that's not.
Gojo can also be questionable as a
He's
father figure.
He's not. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily put him as, like, he's not the best dad, but he's not a terrible one. But either way, this is not about Gojo. Moving on.
You know, Doji's such a dilf though. Not Doji.
Okay, this is a Father's Day video, not a thirsting video. Let's move on.
Can we pause real quick so I can put an edit of Toji? You know.
Oh my god.
And my man, thank you to my man. And my man, thank you to my.
Anyways, the next deadbeat dad, who's actually more deadbeat than Toji, in my opinion, in terms of abandonment.
Is he more DILF material according to your standard here? Because you were completely able to forgive Toji.
Nah, I don't think he's that dilf. Ging Freecs.
Alright, Ging is honestly in a weird position because it's just like, when Gon does meet up with him, you realize that he does want Gon in his life. He's just kind of stupid. Okay, no, Gin isn't stupid, not going into manga spoilers, but there's a lot more stuff that he has going on in the background, and he does actually want to take Gon on adventures with him. He just goes about it the completely wrong way. I think this man just doesn't know the concept of parenting, and he kind of just had Gon as like a spur of the moment thing and realized, I don't know how to take care of a baby, and he just dumps him on somebody else.
It's like that teenage dad type of thing.
Yeah, he very much is the teenage dad, like, if I'm being real here.
He's like really ignorant. He doesn't know what to do, how to parent.
I think he just wanted an adventuring buddy.
Exactly.
And then he's just like, oh, right, babies need food and water and changing. I'm gonna just shove him back on the island that I was born on.
Alright, here you go,
hopefully turns
sister.
out-
Sister, you deal with my child now. I'm gonna go on my adventures.
Yeah,
you know.
here's the thing. He's the dad that asked for help. Yes, he kind of forced the help onto somebody else, but you know what? At least he was responsible enough to know.
Alright, next up is Shou Tucker.
Alright, he turns his daughter into a dog. Moving on.
Now someone who didn't turn his daughter into a dog. Denji's dad. You know, we actually know nothing about Denji's dad, but just like, oh, he supposedly hung himself, but
Manga spoilers.
manga spoilers. Denji actually killed his father in self-defense because his father was like an alcoholic. So
Yeah.
he's pretty much a shit
And
dad.
that's how he meets his dog.
Yeah.
That gives him a heart transplant. Again, fathers start the story. I'm sorry. At one point, you're gonna meet your lifelong best friend, quite literally gives his life for yours, and now you share that life, and he also gives you cool chainsaw powers. I mean, yes, you bleed out every time you use them, but he got a cool chainsaw dog out of it, so...
You know, maybe Denji's dad's not that bad. I mean,
love how
he left him like a huge, humongous debt, and Denji had to like sell his left testicle and his like right eye.
Him.
You know what? Yeah.
It humbled him.
It
Until it didn't,
It
but-
truly was a humbling experience.
Yeah, it
as
humbled
any
him
father
until it
should do
didn't,
to
but like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Denji's dad was a shit dad. He's an alcoholic. He used to beat Denji. He left him a huge debt. The next father on this list, who's actually also an alcoholic, Dario Brando. I actually can't defend Dario Brando. I'm sorry. I literally cannot defend him at all. It's implied that he literally indirectly killed his wife, indirectly killed Dio's mom.
Yeah.
Because I think he like drove her insane or something like that. Like beat her a lot. Like he was an abusive father and also an abusive like husband as well. He was a heavy alcoholic. He was such a horrible dad that Dio actually poisoned him and killed him. So there's that.
Alright, I can absolutely defend this man. He was just trying to get that bag. When you first see him, remember, he's the first guy you see in part 1, or at least in the anime. When he shows up, trying to, like, you know, grave rob the rich. Also, fuck the 1%. He should have absolutely taken all of their shit. He honestly could have just taken it anyway. Plus, yeah, sure, he was abusive, he probably killed his wife, but at the same time, he was trying to get a better life for Dio no matter how he could. He had his flaws, but he still held on to that IOU.
I don't think it was a better life for Dio, more of a better life for himself, because you see from the anime, like, I think he kept, like, the ring that he got from George Joestar, like, I think he sold it and got some alcohol off of it.
Yeah, like, everyone has their
he's
flaws.
Buying shit. He's like selling, even if he steals from the rich, he's not like Robin Hood where he gives it to the poor and stuff like that and his family.
Yeah, he is the poor.
I mean, he is the poor, but he's like fueling his own alcoholism
because of what the rich have done to him. And now he's in this inferiority complex / superiority complex where he has to push this on everybody. Plus, he keeps that IOU from Jonathan's father, giving Dio a better life even in his death, showing that in his final moments, no matter how much of a dickbag this man was, he was thinking about his son the entire time.
Okay, you got me with that. But it was because of this motherfucker that made Dio evil.
And what made him evil? His upbringing. Why? Because he was born into poverty. Why was he born into poverty? Because there were those who were led in a series of oppression, especially in Victorian England, where most of the population couldn't afford a decent fucking meal.
But do you know who else? You know who else was born into poverty? Speedwagon.
Speedwagon literally has the shit kicked out of him to make him a good person.
Dio also had the shit kicked out of him by Jonathan multiple times. But I explained this.
Yeah, and he had wealth flaunted in his face while that was happening.
Yeah, like I talk about this in like why part 1 is mid video. How Dio and Speedwagon have the same upbringing, but the reason Speedwagon became better off is because he actually had like the capability to see the good of like Jonathan's actions that Dio didn't, because Dio was already surrounded by horrible people, especially Dario. Anyways,
all right, moving on.
We can both agree that Dario was a bag of we can both agree that
he was a bag of dicks, but at the same time, he still looked out for his kid.
I guess. Yeah.
See, I got you. I got you.
Shut up! He's still a piece of shit.
I'm on a roll. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can be a piece of shit, but you don't necessarily have to be like a bad father. Yeah, like he wasn't the best father.
He was a horrible father.
Yeah, but he still cared at the end of the day.
Okay, can you imagine? Like, imagine your Dio, right? Your dad beats the shit out of you and like throws alcoholic bottles at you every time, and every time like. You barely have enough money to eat food because he's taking like your money to like buy alcohol and shit, and then so he's still all of a sudden like a good father after that because he's
not a good father. But listen, these are lessons in being resourceful. Now
he's such a horrible
Dio finds the poison all on his own.
Dio fucking spits on his grave. Like that's why would you do that?
Yeah, a parting gift.
What the?
Listen, like Dio finds the poison on his own, he's able to scheme on his own, showing that his vast intelligence was forged out of necessity. Which is why he has the biggest hate boner in the entire series and why he keeps coming back.
Anyways, this video is getting too long, so I'll see you in part 2.